when the Singh brothers was there in the fore. But I think that the management has changed. A lot of change has changed for this company. So keep on holding with a long-term perspective. I think that the stock has the potential of going up to 310, 320. So keep on holding, but definitely keep a stop loss of 230. So this is the stop loss I'm recommending. Otherwise, I don't see a problem in holding it for the longer term.
Let's go across to you then, Kunal. We've got a couple of stocks that you'd need to look at. SAIL is one of them. The second is IDBI Bank. Now, these are both being held by Prasant, and this is part of a portfolio of stocks that he's holding. But he's wondering whether to exit at these levels. So he's bought SAIL at levels of 122. He's bought IDBI Bank at levels of 57. What should he do with these two stocks?
So I think if it's a very short-term kind of an outlook, then probably he can look to exit these stocks. I would say on marginal bit of bounces, not at current levels. But I think if it's more of a longer-term kind of a structure in terms of portfolios, then I believe SAIL is something which I still believe can be held on to from a longer-term basis. IDBI, I have my own reservations over there because I don't sense any major trend picking up for the stock on a longer term basis. So and also I think it's been in the thick of news flow as well since quite some time. So I would probably prefer that if you can switch from IDBI Bank to maybe something like an SBI or a Kotak Bank at current levels, that could be a good switch in terms of banking. But for SAIL, I would suggest a hold, provided the outlook is more of a medium to long term.
Okay, right, Kunal. That's a view coming in on SAIL as well. But Vijay, coming to you, we have Soumitra who has a query, fundamental query on Muthoot Finance, wants to know how is it looking fundamentally, the stock, and should they be looking at it with a long-term view?
Well, yes, I think that the stocks have corrected quite a bit, and all the finance stocks. I have a very strong view that whenever we see interest rates rising, the chances of finance companies doing well is minimal. But yes, with the stop loss, one should be invested in the stock. Keep a stop loss of 1148, and keep on staying in the stock. There is a chance that the stock might come back. The markets are heavily oversold, so definitely there is a chance that the market would come back, and so would the stock. But keep very strict stop losses. 1148 is the stop loss.
Pull up Madhusan Sumi, and Kunal, this one's for you. Mr. Sitaram Ganesh is asking, he's holding at an average price of 189, and he wants to accumulate this stock. He's asking what level he can start accumulating at. How does the chart look right now?
Attractive, I think at 117 or 18 where the stock is trading, it's trading at a multi-month low for itself. The chart patterns have been very sluggish and I would say weak on a medium-term kind of a time scale for itself. So there was this point where I think start of 2022 or maybe a couple of months from there, where the auto stocks had started to get into a rally mode, both the traditional large cap auto names as well as the auto anch names. And I think even in that phase as well, Madhusan Sumi did not manage to show any major signs of rally or recovery. So I would suggest that the tide could probably be changing for a stock like Madhusan Sumi. Would suggest to exit the stock on any kind of rally which you get into the stock price.
Kunal, I'm going to come back to you. This is a smaller stock, IFCI. I don't know if you track it, but Trilokchan wants to know, he's holding 1,600 shares approximately at 16.75 rupees per share. What would you suggest they should be doing with the stock?
Well, I think I would suggest to exit the stock, come back into the large cap names. I think this market correction has given you so many large cap opportunities where there is on a medium to longer term basis, there is a strong credibility that you can, have consistent amount of returns which could be generated. Now, if you're looking out for names on the large cap, and if you're looking out for to ride out this volatility as well as for the markets to start showing signs of stability, then I would suggest from maybe something from the pharma pack like Sun Pharma looks very attractive. The stock has also corrected, I think 10% or 12% from its recent swing highs. That's attractive. Kotak Bank is also attractive bet from current levels. So you can look to pick and choose from these large cap names and shift from IFCI.
Coal is something that we've been focusing on in the recent past, right? And Vijay, this one's for you. Coal India is the name of the stock we're asking about. Tushar is holding 300 shares of Coal India at levels of 150. He's asking whether to hold for the long term or not.
Definitely a hold. It's a good dividend play, number one. Number two, there's a huge coal shortage. So stocks like Coal India, NLC, they should do well. And traditionally, we see that summers and monsoons, Coal India doesn't do well. But I think that in the kind of coal shortage we have, Coal India should do well. And the government is going, all out to increase the production of the mines. So I think that Coal India should do well in the longer term, and it's a very good dividend play, mind you. So keep on holding the stock, no problem.
Kunal, the next query is coming in for SRF. We have a query from Sagar. He shorted from 2,620 levels in both futures and options. Do you think this is a good area to book profits or wait for more downside?
Coming into an oversold territory. So if it's a short-term kind of a play, then I would suggest to book profits over here for SRF. It's also recovered from the intraday lows as such. So my sense is that probably over the next couple of days, you might see some sort of a bounce playing out for SRF. I think in that aspect, you can look to cover your shorts at current zone, and probably the stock comes back towards say 2,400, 450 mark. That could be a point where you can look to reinitiate.
We've got a question coming in from Neville. He's writing in from the UAE, and he's holding Finolex Industries at levels of 233.56. I'm going to take this to you, Kunal, because his view that the view that he's seeking is for the next 12 to 18 months. It's had a torrid year so far. In fact, the last 6 months, if I'm not mistaken, lost over 35%. Can he recover his price? What should he do?
Well, I doubt, because for such kind of stocks to get into a recovery mode, you would need to have a very similar kind of a market texture, which we've seen over the last 1.5 odd years. That could be a bit far-fetched to ask for, given the kind of market context where we are. I think Finolex is now trading at 144 odd rupees for itself, currently. So I would suggest that it's better time to try and make a switch from this stock to quality large cap names. Some of the names which I just enumerated some time back.
Right, Kunal. Vijay, I have a query coming on the recently listed Rainbow Hospitals, which will be listing tomorrow. They have been allotted the shares. Any view on that with a long-term view? Should they view or continue to hold? It's a query coming in from Achal Jain.
Well, I think that people who have invested in such markets, if at all the listing is good, it's a good strategy to book profits and come out and wait. Because I see the markets are going to have some kind of a pressure in the times to come because of the rising interest rates, the inflation, and of course, the input costs going up. So it's a very tightrope walking for the central bankers across the world. We have seen that US has increased rates, and they are further going to increase it. They have never seen inflation in the tune of 8.5% in the last 40-50 years. So and so is with the world. Countries like Turkey are having an inflation rate of 71%, and India, there was a midterm increase in the interest rate. So it's going to be a tough year for sure. So stock picking is very, very vital. So I would recommend a profit booking whenever this stock gets listed, and wait on the sidelines. It's at times it's very good to have cash in hand.
Absolutely. I do want to point out that the ticker on that was wrong. The stock will be listed tomorrow. So that is another Rainbow or another company with Rainbow on it. Let's talk about a question coming in from Hyderabad. This is Prashant from Hyderabad. He's asking about Jindal SAW. He's got 500 shares which he's added at levels of 103. Kunal, this one's for you. Should he add more or should he wait for a better price?
For a better price, the stock has still not gone into a very oversold kind of a territory on the indicators on the medium term front for itself. So purely in that sense, I would suggest to wait. Maybe the level could be closer to 75, 77 for the stock price, and I think the current price is closer to 86. So probably another 10% downside is where you can look to allocate fresh capital over here.
Okay. Vijay, we have a query on Nalco. Now, Ruby wants to know, with a long-term view, she's bought around 100 shares at 109 rupees per share. Should she continue to hold them for a long term? What's the view on Nalco?
Well, if you ask me, it's a brilliant company and a dividend yielding company. the kind of reserves it has. They have a back-to-back power arrangement. They've got coal supply from Andhra coal fields, and it's a great company. But again, metals are being battered because they saw a very wonderful, run up. I would say that keep on holding with the stop loss of 85, and I think that this stock should come back soon.
Praveen from Chennai is asking about Coffee Day Enterprises, and this stock is currently trading, it's under pressure today particularly. It's down about 4.4% and trading just shy of 45 rupees. He's bought at levels of 58 rupees, Kunal, and he's asking if he should exit at this price. If not, what are the stop losses that he should keep?
No, I think you can still stay put into this stock. So I understand that the prices have corrected for the stock, but the indicators, when I look at it from the monthly time frame, had changed for Coffee Day. I think around some 9-10 months back, when the stock was at, I think, 35-36 rupees odd. From there, the indicators had started to shape up on the upside, and that's when you've seen the prices. So there was this phase for Coffee Day where the stock had rallied up to, I think, 75 or 80 plus levels just about some few months back. And from there, it's now got into a correction mode, more or less in line with what's happening across the market. So I think it's a good stock where you can look to hold on. At least the indicators are still into a positive territory. So the prices could probably get into a recovery mode. So I would suggest a hold.
Okay. Kunal, I'm going to come back to you again. We have two stocks. One is Nilkamal and one is Supreme. Now, at current market prices with a 2-year view, technical view, what would you be suggesting to Srinivasan, who is looking at buying these stocks?
A lot of stocks with the name Supreme, so whether it's Supreme Infra, Industries, the clarity over there could probably help.
I have not mentioned, but let's just talk about Nilkamal till then because they've not specified the stock.
Okay, I think for Nilkamal, the chart patterns are not very, very intriguing. I would suggest that you can probably exit the stock and switch to some other large cap name. The structure for Nilkamal over the last, I think, 2 years, 3 years has not been very, very great. So I would suggest to exit.
Sonu has got a question on Poonawalla FinCorp, and I'm sure a lot of my viewers are aware of the reason why we've talked about this more in the recent past. But he's asking at what level can he buy 500 shares? He wants to start buying into this counter. I'm going to go to you on this one, Vijay, on the fundamentals. First of all, should he buy into this counter, and at what level does it look attractive?
As I mentioned, that whenever interest rates are increasing, it is very difficult for finance companies to perform. But still, I would say that if somebody wants to enter afresh, a great level would be 215 to 218. So long-term players can think of entering here. But yes, it is going to be challenging because as the interest rates rise, the defaults also rise. And we are in a country where we are just coming out of the pandemic. There's a lot of pain on the actual balance sheets of most of the companies and small businesses. People have lost their businesses as well. That's why they're going for loans, etc. But still, I would say that this stock can be bought into at around 215 and held on to with a longer term perspective. But yes, it would take time. Financials would take time to perform.
Kunal, coming to you, we have a query coming in from Venkateshwaran on PNB. Now, they've bought it at around 33 rupees. What should they be doing with the stock? Should they continue to hold it?
I would suggest to exit. I think it's much better now in this kind of a circumstance in terms of market. I think to switch towards a quality. I would suggest a shift from PNB to SBI from the same PSU banking space.
Is the name of the counter, Kunal. Coming back to you on this one, we've got Aziz from Karnataka, who's holding at levels of 150. I don't think that he's seen his level, his price for quite a while now. He's asking for a short-term view now because I think it's his intention to sell.
Alex, you'll have to repeat the name of the stock.
Barmer Lorry is the name of the counter. Barmer Lorry is the name of the counter. Usually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of people buy into this stock with the intention of a dividend play.
Yeah, that could be possible, but purely in terms of price trends, when I look at the charts, there is nothing major which is kicking off in terms of the price trends for Balmer Lorry. So, the lows in 2020 was closer to 78 or 80 odd rupees. From there, the stock, jumped up to 150, could not even cross about the previous life highs of 200 for Balmer Lorry. And now the stock is back towards the 110 or 114 mark for itself. So, not major chart in terms of price patterns, which I can spot that the stock is getting to a recovery or a major turnaround mode. I would suggest to exit.
Okay, and now it's that time we start our rapid fire segment. So coming in with both our guests, Kunal, I'm going to start with you first. We have a query coming in from Sachin, who's asking about Syngene and is holding 1,000 shares at 580. What should they be doing?
You need to hold on. It would probably a pitching opportunity to get at 50.
Okay, Apollo Hospitals is the name of the counter. Short-term view is being sought. Lakshmi is asking, bought at levels of 5,100. Kunal, what's the view on Apollo Hospitals?
Well, I was looking at the charts actually just about some time back. It's extremely oversold. The probability of a bounce is pretty much high. I would suggest to average at current.
Okay, the next query is on Sigachi Industries. Long-term view at current levels. Vijay, what should Mubarak be doing?
Well, long-term view is that all the chemical and specialty chemical companies will well. But there is going to be input cost pressures. So definitely hold on with the up 50.
Okay, I'm sorry I couldn't get that stop loss, but I'm going to move on to Reliance Industries. I think we've spoken about it at length. Kunal, just reiterate your view on the charts, please.
2,500 is a support. Till the time the stock holds that support, you can continue to look to hold long positions.
Vijay, the next query is on MTAR Tech. Yash wants your view on the stock. They are holding it at an average price of 1,400. What should they be doing?
Well, I think that they should have a stop loss of 1,300, and if at all it hits, they should definitely exit. I could see on the charts that there's a death cross which is in the making.
Crompton Consumer May Futures strike is 386. Hold or sell? Kunal.
I would suggest to hold on.
Kunal, REC Limited, Nikhil Bhatt wants to know what to do with hold, exit or average, holding shares at 130 rupees per share.
I would suggest to exit the stock.
Scient bought at levels of 300, if I'm not mistaken. Would you suggest that it can be held on to, Vijay?
Well, yes, definitely it can be held on to, and I think that IT could be one of the sectors which would come back faster. With the strengthening dollar, the revenues would improve. So I think that Scient has a case and can come back.
Okay, viewers, and with that, we're absolutely out of time for your query segment today. Thank you so much, Kunal, as well as Vijay, for joining in with us and giving us your views, as well as the viewers resolving their queries as well. But with that, let's just slip into a very short break, but we'll be back with more on the other side.
हायर रिटर्न्स का आश्वासन देने वाले विज्ञापनों या प्रचार करने वालों से बचें। एनएससी, एक कदम सही, 100 गुना सुरक्षा।
SEL टाइगर TMT रीबार में ताकत बेमिसाल और इसका एडवांस्ड रिप टेक्नोलॉजी रखे सीमेंट से बॉन्ड सालों साल। इसे कहते हैं बॉन्ड, टाइगर बॉन्ड। इन दीवारों में टाइगर रहता है। SEL टाइगर TMT रीबार।
Delivery Limited now proposes an initial public offer of equity shares. The 100% book built offer is being offered at a price band of Rs 462 to Rs 487 per equity share. Offer opens on Wednesday, May 11, 2022. Offer closes on Friday, May 13, 2022. For risk factors and other details, please refer to the red herring prospectus dated April 30, 2022, which is available on the websites of SEBI, the BRLMs and the stock exchanges.
A country that had few career options in sight till yesterday is shifting its focus towards newer avenues today, as if it's found a multiple megapixel light clarity. Today's India is seeing everything with a new set of eyes, and all of this is being made possible by Snapdragon. Unleash your dreams. Unleash the best smartphone experiences with Snapdragon.
जब साबुन एक तो उसमें जर्म्स अनेक। मम्मी, इसीलिए अब से गोदरेज प्रोटेक्ट मैजिक हैंड वॉश। खोलो, घोलो, तैयार। इसके हर बूंद में है नया साबुन जो दे दमदार जर्म प्रोटेक्शन। सिर्फ 15 रुपए का रिफिल चले 30 दिनों तक। गोदरेज प्रोटेक्ट मैजिक हैंड वॉश।
LIC IPO of 221.37 million equity shares with a price band of 902 rupees to 949 rupees per equity share. Discount of 45 rupees for retail bidders and eligible employees and of 60 rupees for eligible policyholders. Bid offer opens on May 4, closes on May 9, 2022, including Saturday, May 7 and Sunday, May 8, 2022. For risk factors and more details, please refer to the RHP dated April 26, 2022, available on the websites of SEBI, the BRLMs and the stock exchanges.
This is how it all begins. It never ends. No disguise to cover up. Love the way your love keeps me apart. 'Cause in your hands I become a believer. I'm such a beautiful creature in your eyes.
Every day today, over 23,000 businesses, large and small, reach consumers across markets in new ways. They all have one thing in common: delivery. We connect our customers through our infrastructure and technology, through the largest and fastest growing logistics network in India. With over 1 billion shipments delivered and counting, we are delivery.
मैडम जी, वो सारे पैसे लेके भाग गए और मेरा वड़ा पाव भी ले गए।
दिखाते हैं इनको।
मोटे वड़ा पाव? डीलर, निकाल दे इसके बाद।
पंक्चर के बाद भी इससे हवा नहीं निकलेगी, क्योंकि ये है JK पंक्चर गार्ड टायर, जो कील लगने के बाद भी होता है हीट। JK पंक्चर गार्ड टायर, अब हवा नहीं निकलेगी।
कल आज और कल में, देश के हर पल में, कल आज और कल में, देश के हर पल में। कभी परछाई बनके, कभी विश्वास बनके, दिल में साहस का एहसास बनके, उम्मीदों को सच्चाई के रंग से सजाते हैं। मुश्किलें कोई हरदम साथ निभाते हैं। कल आज और कल में रहते हैं, देश के हर पल में रहते हैं।
1956 से आज तक LIC हर पल आपके साथ।
Welcome back, and you're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now. Let's move on and talk about the ET Now insights today. Now, what we spoke about today was Nifty's underperformance this month. My colleague Jayesh has given a full analysis on that. Let's go across and see what this analysis is about Nifty's underperformance.
There has been a weakening of sentiment across parameters that we have tracked, which is the internals that we generally refer to. Starting off with the key moving averages, as you can see on the screen, the Nifty as well as the Nifty Bank, both of them are, in the shade of red as far as 50, 100 and 200-day moving averages are concerned. What's even worse is the Nifty Small and the Mid Cap Index, which have traded about 10% lower as compared to their 100 as well as 200-day moving average. So definitely some weakness as far as moving averages are concerned. Talking about the relative strength, we have seen no material change or very minimalistic change that we have seen. So the Nifty that has been seeing a weakening trend. The Bank Nifty, however, it is showing improving, but the absolute number reflects absolutely no change in the relative strength index. For the mid cap as well as the small cap index, it has briefly touched the oversold condition for the small cap index. It is well in the oversold territory as far as the RSI is concerned. Now the number of stocks that are making 4-week high and low, those have seen weakness in trend, and similar is the case with the number of stocks that are showing 52-week high and low. Talking about individual stocks, how many stocks are trading above their key moving averages. So there is a weakening in trend across three parameters: the number of stocks that are above 10-day moving average, 50-day moving average, and 200-day moving average. This is the Nifty that I am referring to. Moving on to further, the number of stocks which are above or below their key moving averages also, and how they are positioned in terms of their relative strength index. There has been a weakening over here as far as the number of stocks which are oversold are concerned. So on April 29th, we had 6% stocks which are oversold, and May 9th, we have about 14 to 15% stocks which are currently oversold. So definitely shows the weakness that is persisting in the markets.
All right, well, that's the insight for today. But do stay tuned. We have to slip into a short break. On the other side, we've got more. So be right back.
Ebix Cash हर खुशी के लिए काफी है। SEL टाइगर TMT रीबार में ताकत बेमिसाल और इसका एडवांस्ड रिप टेक्नोलॉजी रखे सीमेंट से बॉन्ड सालों साल। इसे कहते हैं बॉन्ड, टाइगर बॉन्ड। इन दीवारों में टाइगर रहता है। SEL टाइगर TMT रीबार।
LIC IPO of 221.37 million equity shares with a price band of 902 rupees to 949 rupees per equity share. Discount of 45 rupees for retail bidders and eligible employees, and of 60 rupees for eligible policyholders. Bid offer opens on May 4, closes on May 9, 2022, including Saturday, May 7 and Sunday, May 8, 2022. For risk factors and more details, please refer to the RHP dated April 26, 2022, available on the websites of SEBI, the BRLMs and the stock exchanges.
Leaders of Tomorrow Town Hall is back. We are coming to your city. Get a chance to meet one-on-one with the industry experts who will evaluate your city's potential and emerging trends. Join us to evolve, emerge and excel. Only on ET Now. Presented by IDFC First Bank. Always you first.
रुको, यहाँ पे खतरा है।
खतरा? कहाँ?
इस प्लेट पर, इस चम्मच में भी।
इन सब में कैसा खतरा?
कॉकरोच। वो रात को पीठ पीछे आते हैं और इन पर जर्म्स फैलाकर छुप जाते हैं। फिर दिन में बच्चे इन्हें छूकर बीमार पड़ सकते हैं और इसीलिए लाल हिट। छुपे कॉकरोच मारो, बीमारियों से बचो।
Every day today, over 23,000 businesses, large and small, reach consumers across markets in new ways. They all have one thing in common: delivery. We connect our customers through our infrastructure and technology through the largest and fastest growing logistics network in India. With over 1 billion shipments delivered and counting, we are Delivery.
अगर इस बार भी लीकेज बंद नहीं हुआ ना, तो छत पे सो जाना।
केमिकल वाटर प्रूफिंग कर रहा हूँ बे। वाह, तू क्या कर रहा है? मैं तो खाना पचा रहा हूँ। ये देख।
बार बार केमिकल वाटरप्रूफिंग नहीं, एक बार एशियन पेंट्स डैम प्रूफ कराओ। वारंटी वाले वाटरप्रूफिंग के लिए कॉल करें 80504 80504।
कल आज और कल में देश के हर पल में, कल आज और कल में देश के हर पल। कभी परछाई बनके, कभी विश्वास बनके, दिल में साहस का एहसास बनके, उम्मीदों को सच्चाई के रंग से सजाते हैं। मुश्किलें कोई हरदम साथ निभाते हैं। कल आज और कल में रहते हैं, देश के हर पल में
1956 से आज तक LIC हर पल आपके साथ।
This is slow cooling. And this is fast cooling. Happiness is a fast cooling AC. Blue Star.
Asian Granito India Limited presenting its right issue of rupees 441 crores on BSE and NSE platform. Issue price of rupees 63 per equity share. Right issue is open and would close on 10th May. Right issue managed by Pantomac Capital.
A vision becomes a milestone when it helps make our lives richer with love and laughter. When it helps make a cleaner, smarter, and a more beautiful planet. So that you can set off on joyous new journeys and adventures. Opening up vistas and windows to a vibrant new world. A vision becomes a milestone when it touches millions of lives. Aditya Birla Group. Big in your life.
Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now, and let's pivot to earnings and Nifty earnings to watch. You have UPL that's going to be reporting its numbers. It's one of the stocks that is in the green in today's trade, and that's saying something. Joining me now to tell you what to expect is Sharad Dubey. Sharad, over to you.
Well, the numbers of UPL is in focus with the revenue expected to come in at almost 12% growth on a year-on-year basis, while the EBITDA is expected to rise 17% and the margins, the operational numbers, are expected to go up almost 100 basis points, coming in at almost 21.7% on a year-on-year basis. Now, if we see the factors to watch out for, the firstly would be a strong set of numbers expected to come, and this is largely because of two reasons. First is the better pricing and also a good volume growth seen. Now, do remember there's a global agri cycle is on an uptrend here, so that would benefit the company which is dealing in higher exports going ahead. So price hikes and even the backward integration of the processes would actually cushion the margins against the input cost pressure, and also they expect this price and volume led growth to come across all the geographies except Europe, which is having a higher base. Now do remember reduction in debt would be a key re-rating trigger, and apart from this the market share gains is expected to come in across all the geographies, and the management commentary would be very important to track. And lastly, the impact of the Ankleshwar plant fire incident is something which we'll be talking about.
Okay, Sharad, thank you so much for that. We'll be surely keeping an eye out on UPL's numbers. But with that, we're absolutely out of time on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now. Thank you so much from Alex Matthews, myself, as well as the team who put this show together.